Hey everyone, is anyone out there? I hope someone's out there. Hi, it is Wednesday, and so it is time for another live feed. Um, it's live feed Wednesday. It's 2 o'clock Pacific time, so we're going live. Hope you're out there. Hello, 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 hello. That's my echo. Such as this. No, something just popped up. Marianne. Hi, Bob. Hi, Marianne. Well, you were first. Very good for you. Uh, AB's Minimalist is a moderator, so she was first, of course. But you're the first real person. Moderators aren't real people, are they? Live. It's alive. Yeah, Frankenstein and my Frankenstein monster. Is that what I'm supposed to hear from that? I'm getting feedback, guys. Okay. ABZ Minimalist wasn't sure about that. Hi, everyone. Well, Tom Quinlan has an interesting comment. Let me address good Tom. Oh, come back here. Come back here. Tom defines has put up a definition of a clique: a small group of friends with shared interest, or a small group of people with shared interests or other features in common who spend time together and do not readily allow others to join. Is that all there was to it? I don't know. No, I messed up. So I guess his assumption there is that I should take from that is that I'm creating a clique, and that you're all probably what he really should be saying is I've got a cult. I think that would be a better accusation, because how many of you have ever met me or will ever meet me? So practically very few, percentage-wise. Let's see, 423,000 members. I would say it's not hard to get in the group. You go to YouTube and click subscribe and you're in. No membership, no money. You're welcome. And if you want to be on this on the live feed, you know what you do? You go to YouTube and you hit click and you're here. So I don't know what kind of limitations he's talking about joining the group. All are welcome. All are welcome. No limitations by race, sexual preference, religion, size of vehicle, choice of vehicle, live in a house. You're welcome to join us. Go to the virtual caravans. I think the virtual caravans are about half people in houses. They're all welcome. Anyone can join. So you're all welcome to join. So the whole world is welcome to join our clique. We're all very, very lucky. Hi, Bob. Pam from Little Rock, Arkansas. Hi to you, Pam. Okay, we'll do announcements first, then we'll go on. We have a topic for the day. It's question and answers. And today's topic is, what's the official topic? Is now a good time to become a nomad? Is that essentially the topic?
Yes.
That's the essence of the topic. And
yes,
so, we'll come to that here in a minute. Announcements. I just started a new class on Skillshare and Udemy. I'm not going to give you any details. It's everything, how to get started. If you're just gotten your eviction notice, you're going to be going soon, or if you just are so anxious you want to go right now, go there. And I have all in one place, Udemy and Skillshare.com and Udemy.com, and you can learn it all. Everything I know is available to you for free on my website, cheaprvliving.com, and on the YouTube channel. It's all there. It's just all in one place on the two classes. They do cost you some money. I tried to hold the prices down. And there's a link in the description. Just go to the link. Next, the virtual caravans are going now. And so we're not comfortable holding actual gatherings. We don't want to be responsible. If we bring a bunch of people together and we bring disease and harm to people, we don't want that responsibility on our heads. We think ethically we're really obligated to do virtual caravans right now. We hope that changes. It's not in our control. So right now all we have are virtual caravans, and you can find them on meetup.com/caravans. Just go there. You'll find all the information. I've told you all about it before. Meetup.com/caravans. The emergency fund is ongoing. These are all functions of Homes on Wheels Alliance, 501c3 that my wonderful friend Sue Ann and I started to co-founded to benefit the community. That anyone is welcome to join. Anyone, as long as you're a nomad, you're welcome to join and participate in HOWA. You're welcome to join even if you're not a nomad, but to be a recipient of HOWA, you need to be a nomad. So we have the emergency fund is still going to get, if you are in need of money for an emergency, you can email efund@homesandwheelsalliance.org. So please do that. If you are in an emergency and you're a nomad, write them. The money is there. It's waiting for you. And so just do that. And if you want to contribute, money goes out, it has to come in, or it'll, of course, simply will run out. To contribute, go to HOWA, HOWA.rallyup.com. So that's an address you're going to be hearing. HOWA, HOWA.rallyup, RALLYUP.com. We have sweepstakes going. These are sweepstakes. They're not raffles. Sweepstakes, no entry is required. You don't have to buy a ticket to enter. And so that makes it not gambling. If you don't have to pay to enter, it's not gambling. And so there's no risk. You don't lose a thing. You're less likely to win because you're only buying one ticket. But you can do that. You can even get more. For all the information on that, go to howa.rallyup.com. That's HOWA.rallyup.com. We are doing a sweepstakes on two different types of items. First, a We Roll trailer from weroll.com, WEERLOLROLL.com, weroll.com. Our wonderful friend Tom is there, is generously donated. This will be his second trailer that he has donated to do this. So their trailers are insulated. They have the barn doors in the back. They're insulated. They have windows. They're 6x10. That's a very good size. Most cars and larger cars, V6 engines, SUVs can handle that trailer size. That's why we wanted the smallest one, so more people could have access to it. Also has a vent in the roof, so it's ready for you to build your own home inside it. It's the windows, the insulation, and the vent are in. Those are the kinds of the hard things. Also, we have two electric bikes from electricbikes.com. That's LECTRICEBIKES.com. Those links are all in the description. Go to the description for the, and Levi at electricbikes.com has donated 5, I think, total or more bikes. 7 total to Homes on Wheels Alliance. We've donated them and raffled them, and they're fantastic bikes. If I were interested in buying a folding electric bike, I would be buying theirs. It's the best bang for the buck. Great bike, fantastic price. But don't just go out and buy an electric bike because it's a great deal. Make sure you will actually use it. It's a lot of money. It's a fantastic deal at $900. The next best deal is the Rad folding, and that's a great bike, no question about it. But it's $1,500, and it's no better, but it's $1,500. So yeah, this is a fantastic deal. I would definitely, if you're interested in an electric bike, look at them first. All I'm asking is you give them a fair shake, and if you do, I think you might end up buying one of theirs. But don't buy it if you don't need it. I'm hearing from people who say, if I say to buy it, they go buy it. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm letting you know about things that are available if they work for you. But don't buy it if it doesn't work for you. And, a lot of us buy bikes and then never ride them. And that $900 is too much to be doing that. Make sure you're going to use it. I think, yeah.
Let folks know that they have only 9 more days. Actually 8 more days to buy their sweepstakes tickets for the e-bikes.
Okay, the raffle on the e-bikes is coming right up. So only 8 or 9 more days, and then we'll cut the raffle off, and then we'll pick the winners. And there's 2 bikes, and then we'll pick the winners and hand them out to whoever wins the sweepstakes. Okay, just an update on the RTR. We don't know any more than we do have known. Our crystal balls have gotten real dim on us recently. We're not mind readers or fortune tellers. We don't know what's going to happen between now and January. Who does? Who knows what's going to happen between now and tomorrow anymore? Who could ever have predicted our world in September of 2020? So we don't know. I think it's unlikely there will be a physical gathering. We're hoping we'll do everything we possibly can to have a physical gathering. It seems less than likely that there will be. We'll see. We hope so. There will certainly be a virtual gathering. We will do the classes, we'll do the meetings. We just won't gather. And the teachings are great, but it's that gathering face to face. If it's at all possible, we will do a gathering and get us together. I just don't know if it will be possible or not. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, am I done? I think I'm done. Anything else?
Might invite people who are in need to apply for a minivan.
Oh, right. We have minivan. Did I miss that? We have, we don't have any going on right now, but coming up,
No, but
October, November.
Application is going on now.
Right. We are going to, in October and November, we are actually going to do builds and donate to someone in need. We have 3 minivans to give away. The money came in, and because of the whole pandemic thing, we really haven't been able to put people together and get them done and given away. So we're going to donate to 3 people who are in need, 3 minivans coming up in October and November. So the application to apply to receive those minivans is on the homesonwheelsalliance.com website right now. And it's at homesonwheelsalliance.com/NBB. That's short for no build. NBB. Just go to always you can just go to Homes on Wheels Alliance and hit programs, and everything will come up. Everything we're doing will be listed on that page with a link to it. You can always just do that. And that's simple and easy. Homes and Wheels Alliance.org. Oh, I kept saying .org. Because we are an org. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. And so just go there and put in an application. I hear from so many people who need help. They are, the eviction process is just starting to come into effect, and people are getting kicked out, and their funds are running out, and their family and friends who have taken them in are just kind of getting tired of having them around. And so there are going to be a lot of people coming up and wanting to be in, needing to be in a van to live better. I don't care what you think about being a nomad. I think you're better off living in a minivan than you are living in a cardboard box under a bridge. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that, and I'm going to live and teach that. And so that's what we're doing, helping as many people as we can, so they get into the minivans or cars and not in a box under a bridge. That's not what we want. Living in a van down by the river, that's a pretty good life. Living in a box under the overpass is not. So that's the choice I would make. All right, I think I'm done. Okay, so now we're going to cards. I just can't do that in less than 15 minutes. Okay, the Creative Rover writes in, and so the topic is now a good time to be a minivan. It's a good time to live in a minivan. So is now a good time to become a nomad? Or is this a terrible time? Is it a good time, or is it a terrible time because of the pandemic? I mean, are there travel restrictions? Are we losing places to camp? These are the things people are saying. This stuff goes all around. And there have been a real rash of YouTubers getting out, and so I don't know if you've noticed that bunch of YouTubers have stopped living on the road and are getting off, and I'm baffled by that. But everyone has a different thing in life, and so is this a good time? So that's the topic, and I will probably rant and rave about it a little bit as we go. I tend to do that, don't I? The creative rover says, I don't think any time is the best time. Well, if you're about to live in a cardboard box under an overpass, that is the best time, but I agree with his point. I think the best time is always now or ASAP. Yeah, I would. I'm not sure I would always agree with that, but we all, I do too. I always want to give this answer that's true for everybody at all times, and I have done that. I'm very guilty of that a lot of times. But no, anything that's everybody all times, that's just almost never true. I'm a very good planner and organizer, and I know that the research and preparation could go on indefinitely. Yes, analysis paralysis. Uh, One day we just have to say enough and get out and do it. And I think that's really, really true. That's very wise. There will always be something going on in the world and in our regions that will make us feel like now is not a good time and that best time will never come. I say we have to pick a date, regardless of what is going on around us, and just go. Work the rest out day by day and it will work out. And I basically agree. There's no question, I'm sure most of you are well aware that I believe in this. I believe it's healing. I believe emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, this is healing. Physically, it's healing. Your life will be better off in every way if you become a nomad. But if you have a job now and you're able to save money, uh, and if you can take some time and sell some things, sell your house, and some people, in 6 months or a year, they're going to retire. And don't come, if you're 6 months away from your retirement, don't go now. That would be crazy. Um, I had young kids at home. I had to wait till my kids were 18 and out of the house. Um, I had years to go before I was eligible for my retirement. So I stayed home until my retirement was ready. And then when I left, I retired early. I lost some of my retirement, but I was willing to do that. I stayed until I could get some. So it's never an easy as an answer as just go now. And I know that. And if you are flat broke and have no money, if at all possible, get a job and stay until you build up some money. Um, but always, if it's live in the car or the van, or live in a cardboard box under a bridge, get in the car, get in the van, keep looking for a job uh, while you're living in the car or the van, and save up some money. You got to have money in your pocket. Period. You got to know where you're going to buy your next meal. You just have to know that. And so, yeah, I, Creative Rover, I agree with your intention and sentiment 100% wholeheartedly. I'm with you 100%. I just know that, there's no one broad answer that's true for everyone at all times. Kathy Green, I recently lost my apartment in Missoula, Montana, a pretty cool place, and both in wow factor and in cold factor. And I'm now living in my car here. Boy, I wouldn't be, that'd be very cold if you have to stay there for long. My plan initially was to head south in the desert this fall. I'm concerned about all the lockdowns. What is the latest information regarding dispersed camping in Arizona? There's no limitations. And, well, just look at the current government, current administration. They want to open everything up they can as soon as they can. They don't want to close anything unless it's an absolute necessity. And there's no necessity in closing public land. Dispersed camping. Now, I think if it gets bad again, they'll close the campgrounds. I think that's almost inevitable. But dispersed camping, no, because there's not groups. Anytime there's not groups, it's one person in one place. I don't think we're at any risk of losing dispersed camping. I think we're in no risk at this point if we're losing dispersed camping. Um, yeah, campgrounds. Yes, you have to distinguish between campgrounds and dispersed camping. We will, if it gets bad again, we'll lose campgrounds. We will. I don't think we'll ever lose dispersed camping. So, and as of right now, no. You can. I've been through in the last month and a half. I have camped all over Oregon, Oregon, Nevada, not all over, but I drove across the state and camped along it. Oregon, Utah, Nevada, and Colorado. And I can tell you those 4 states are wide open. There are zero restrictions on travel or on camping. And I can't imagine that it's coming up for dispersed camping. That's the latest information I have, Kathy. Deborah asked, do you see an increase in the nomadic population as I've seen an increase of families losing their homes and possessions? I think it's always increasing, yeah. And I think we're going to see a massive, massive increase coming up within the next year. Depends on how things go. Things could go really well, but that seems highly unlikely. I think we're going to see a massive increase. So yeah, definitely seeing an increase, I think, in the population. I went to some of my trips were places that I go to often, and that's the problem. Is we all go to freecampsites.net or Campendium, or we go to public sources of where to camp, and then we find these places, and then we all go there. And if we all go there, then they're packed, and we're at real risk of losing those places. That just happened this last year at a place called A1 Mountain in Flagstaff. Classic example. A1 Mountain Road goes back probably 10 miles, 20, 30 miles of spider web of roads all the way back. But we all stopped in the first mile and a half, and it was packed, absolutely packed with people camping. Beyond there was no one. And I know for a fact there was no one because I walk all over there and drive all over back there. No one. But we all packed in this mile and a half, and they closed it. And they closed the whole thing. Because we all just want to pack in together. And that's just human nature. And I know it is. But if we continue to do that, wherever we do that, we will lose that place. And that's going to happen again. But if we had just gone all the way back and I bet there's 100 miles of road and camping in the spider web of roads back there. If we'd used it all, it'd still be open today. It was our own fault. And what's going to happen is, because it was such a fantastic campsite, it's 5 miles, literally like 5 miles from downtown Flagstaff, which is a great town. I love Flagstaff. Great, great town. College town, young, vibrant. Downtown's really an alive place. I love Flagstaff. Beautiful, beautiful too. So we all go to Flagstaff because it's pleasant in the summer and it's beautiful and wonderful, and we all camp 5 miles out and we lose it. Had we all just been 10 miles out, all around it, 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles out, we wouldn't have lost it. And there's plenty of room. That's what we need to do. Albert, how are the LTVA permits passes working on this stage in the pandemic lockdowns? Aren't many public national state parks closed still? No, first off, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't use those things. I've never spent a night in an LTVA. Almost never use campgrounds. I've never used a state park that I could think of in the last 12 years. I don't use pet parks. None of the national forests are closing. None of the BLM land is closing. No. I'm not aware of any. Right this minute, I'm not aware of anything, public or private, that's closed because just not. There's a lot of misinformation out there. People just say things and they repeat things and they dream things up and they say them. Well, they must be closed, so I'm going to tell people they're closed. And it's just not true. It's just not true. And I don't know what's going to happen with the LTVAs. I can't imagine, well, they closed them last time. Everything closed. Under this administration, I can't imagine that happening again. What would happen if we get a new administration? I don't know. Well, it would be turned over. I don't know. So I can't even begin to guess. I think every administration wants to open everything up they can. And just exactly what the details will be and what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen? They could get out a new vaccine. It could just be great, no problems, or it could all go to hell come October, November, December. The flu season could be bad, and then the COVID season could be bad. And who knows what could happen? I don't know, but I don't think we're going to lose dispersed camping on public land, on national forest or BLM land at all. It doesn't even make sense to close those. What do you gain? Carol, during this terrible time, loss of jobs, the pandemic, evictions, foreclosures, etc., you suggest that people make a home out of whatever vehicle they have. Absolutely. Yeah, I think everyone should do that. I think your life will be better if you figure out how to go camping in your vehicle. Say you just never you love living in your house, but even if you love living in your house, you're never going to be a nomad. I think your life will be better if you adopt some of the principles of nomadic living, uh, the simplicity of it, the breaking of the consumerism, the ability to get out into nature and enjoy nature. I think everybody's life would be better. So I recommend to everyone to get their car, go car camping in your car, get upgrade to a minivan somewhere. If you own a minivan and you just learn these simple things I'm teaching you, that many people on YouTube are teaching you, uh, you'll never go homeless. You'll never have the fear in the back of your mind, I'm going to be homeless, because you'll always have a home. And boy, that's just really comforting to me. I'm never going to be homeless. Uh, and that's very comforting to me. So I think everyone should be learning this stuff just for their own mental, emotional, spiritual, and psychological well-being, their physical well-being. You should be out camping. You should be learning to live on less. You should develop a mentality of, I don't have to be here. I could move. If a disaster happens, I could leave here and be happy. The idea that I have to live in this house, I have to have this job, I have to have all this stuff, that's a prison. And so the more you break down, keep the house. I'm not saying sell the house. If you love the house, you love the job, you love your things, I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm just saying loosen their grip on you a little bit. And so you can see and experience something beside them. Okay, I'll stop there. I've talked way too long. Eunice. It was on the news in Houston yesterday that used vehicles are increasing in value. And yeah, I think that's really true. A vehicle that you can live in is increasing in value. Even a truck bought 2 years ago could sell now for more than the original purchase price. I'm not sure if it is just the pandemic. Are you finding that the same is true for vans? Yes, absolutely. So we've donated one vehicle so far, I think, and we're going to donate. We must have donated two vehicles so far. We're going to donate at least three more. So we're purchasing all those, and yes, absolutely, we are paying more for minivans this year than we did last year. Absolutely, last year we were planning on paying $3,000 for a good minivan. For a minivan with the exact same specs this year, we are looking at 5,000. So no question about it, it has gone up. People are holding on to them because they're afraid to let go. I don't know if the possibility of living in it plays a role in their thinking, but I think everybody thinks this is a good running car. I'm going to hold on to it until I know what's going to happen in the future. And so less people are selling them. So the ones that do are for sale. It's a buyer's market. I'm sorry. It is a seller's market. There are less sellers, so they are in control. They can charge more, and they do. So yes, we definitely are seeing more, and no one wants to get into the risk of, or few people want to get into the risk of going and purchasing a new vehicle because the future is so uncertain. So they're not buying new vehicles; they're holding on to their old vehicles, and they may even be thinking, "Well, I'll upgrade my older vehicle." So they're out in the used market. So there may be more people in the used market, less people in the new market, and the prices are going up. No question about it. Somebody just sent me, and people do this. Find my email and send me, "Is this a good buy?" And I wrote back and said, "This would be a great buy. I think that's way too much money, but it's a seller's market, and if you have the money, this may be what you just have to pay right now." And it was a great vehicle. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now. You may have to pay more than you want to pay. I really think if you have a good, reliable car, you should give more thought to staying in your car because it's reliable, it's paid for, it's solid. And I have that video up on taking the seats out, and it's pretty remarkable how comfortable you can be in a car if you take this back seat and the passenger seat out. It's remarkable. It can be a very nice little home. Um, it doesn't have to be pure misery. If you don't, I think you're bordering on pure misery. I would be, but I think if you can overcome your anxiety about taking out the seats, and it's going to devastate the cost and the value of the car. Uh, then yeah, you're much better off if you can. Okay. Margie Francis, with the pandemic, how do people who live in their cars shower? And Joy asks, what's the next best thing to do for showers as the fitness centers have closed theirs off due to the pandemic? Uh, this is a question that comes up often, so thank you. I need to address it. A lot of new people who don't, it's a baffling to them, so thank you. Ask yourself this. Uh, Indoor plumbing, the idea of standing with a hot water heater and high water pressure and standing under a shower has broadly existed to the mass public for 100 years, 150 years maybe. What did humans do before that existed? They could not possibly have stayed clean. It was impossible. There was never a human being who was clean until indoor plumbing, right? That must be true. No, of course not. How did the pioneers do it? And so, I mean, literally, this is how I suggest we all start to learn to think. If you're going to move into a car or van, you've got to give up your apartment civilized living mind and think, how did the pioneers do it? My forefathers came across on boats to this country and to countries around the world and built log cabins. And how did they stay clean? And how did they cook? Uh, And is there any reason that I can't do that? Well, you're not going to go down and build a log cabin, obviously. But what they did was they poured water in a basin and they washed their hands in a basin and they splashed water on their face and they had a cloth and they got the cloth wet and they washed themselves. That's what they did. They didn't want to haul 50 gallons of water to take a bath, so they didn't. It was just not worth it. Occasionally they did, but it was just not worth it. That's what you're going to do. That's exactly when they came across the plains, not a tree in sight, how did they stay clean? Were they all just filthy monsters? No, no, no. They managed it. Of course, they had very tight water. And again, you will too. In your home, you're going to carry 10, 15, 20 gallons of water, probably at the most, if you're in a car or a van. And so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pour some water in a basin, pour water in a basin. You have a washcloth. You start with your face. You start from the top, where it's pretty sensitive. You want anything you put on your face to be clean. You start with your face. You get your face clean, and then next after that's good and clean, you're comfortable with that. You move down and you go under the arms, and you get your arms and your hands. You just put your hands in the water in a basin. Newsflash, you can do this. You get yourself clean, and then the Romani people. They had a lot of really strict, the literal gypsies, the cultural gypsies, racial. I think they were actually a racial kind of a subgroup. The Romani, the gypsies. They had really strict rules on. This is where a lot of the strict rules came from. Is a cloth that used on the face couldn't be used below the neck, something like that, and a cloth that was used from the waist to the neck couldn't be used anywhere else, and then a cloth that was used. So these are just practical things that people have developed over the years. This is how you stay clean. So the last thing you do is from the waist down, and that's the dirtiest. So maybe you throw out your water then, and you get some clean water, and you get the important parts clean, and you're done. It really isn't. It isn't that hard, and you can do it inside the car. You really can. Of course, today we have wet wipes, and we have we have microfiber cloths, and all kinds of things that we can use that make our lives a lot easier. Spray bottles. Just a spray bottle is you can go an amazingly long time staying clean with nothing but a quart spray bottle, spraying things down, getting your washcloth clean, scrubbing with it, rinsing off with it. There are 12-volt pumps that you can easily use, and it's just no big deal. Really, honestly, it's no big deal. Think like a pioneer, and don't thinking like a pioneer as a tragedy. Think of it as an adventure. What if you lived your life as an adventure? I'm learning new things. I'm learning to live a real human life. The life you and I live in civilization, I don't believe it's a real human life. I think it's really important to live a real, authentic human life where washing your face is a little bit uncomfortable. You have to carry water some ways, and you have to put it on a fire and warm it up. I mean, that's how humans lived for millions of years. So you and I can do it too. Uh, S.R. Sinclair. To me, I would see this transition as a time of purging and cleansing of sorts. Very, very good. Yeah, that's exactly how I would think of it. A quest, a grand adventure. I would think of this as a grand adventure. So many material things trigger emotions that aren't always healthy. The attachments are a trap. And I think the pandemic is teaching people that we live in a false economy with depreciating assets that are tethered into it. Absolutely. I just agree with you 100%. Very, very wise. Yeah. I think this, all of life, there's a famous saying from Shakespeare, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And you can think of this time as an enormous learning and growing opportunity, or you can think of it as a tragedy. And here's the funny thing, friends. Whichever way you think of it, that's what it'll be. If you think of it as an enormous tragedy, your life is in for an enormous tragedy. And if you think of it as a grand adventure, maybe some hard times, but hard times can be good. Uh, this will be a learning and growing time. And some hard times that go along with it, that's part of learning and growing. Nothing learns and grows without sacrifice and work and suffering. Uh, the caterpillar doesn't come a butterfly by good times and having a party. I think the story of the caterpillar becoming a butterfly is just one of the most important lessons humans can learn. Nothing wrong with being a caterpillar as long as you know you're going to become a butterfly. And my friends, this is the opportunity for you to become a butterfly, to be a person who lives a life that is better than anything you could have ever imagined. What if that's what was just around the corner? Not more tragedy, not more darkness, not the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a train coming your way. What if it's the best, most exciting you that you can be and the most wonderful time of your life? Whatever you think it's going to be, it's going to be. Okay, we'll go on. Another card. Navmar roaming. How hard has it been to find boondocking spots? How crowded has it been? Can you find escape from the heat? All good questions. Again, if you want to go the places that are publicly known, if you haven't learned how to find your own campsites, then you're probably going to run into crowds. And so this is what everyone needs to do: is they need to learn to be independent and find their own campsites. If you will just, if you're okay, someone who is really good to watch is Carolyn's RV Life, because she's really an expert at finding campsites. And I just watched one of her videos in the last couple of months where she went to free campsites. She was driving to that place, but along the way to this place, which is probably going to be crowded because it was on free campsites, she just turned down all the roads before there. And she'd drive down and she'd see a person and another person. She'd drive past them. She'd be all alone. And then she'd go to the campsite that free campsites had listed, and it was packed. And that's the way this works. The ones that you can find on freecampsites.net, great website, use it, but look along the way. Look on the other side of it. Look around it. Go drive down every road into the forest. If you're in a national forest, just drive down the roads. And if it's a little rougher road than most, you're much more likely to be alone. The rougher the road, not breaking down, not getting stuck, but the rougher the road, the more likely you are to be alone. The RVs won't go down there at all. Then you've eliminated a whole bunch of them. And cars probably won't go down it if it's rough. And so the key thing is you have to learn and explore. And the reason I mentioned Carolyn's RV Life is because she does that. And you see her do that. And I just watched a video. She's going to this camp. It was plan A, But she didn't want plan A, she wanted plan B. So she went down this road and she couldn't find anything. So she went back. Well, there was another road. She went down the road. Fantastic campsite. Fantastic campsite. She's all alone. That's what you can do. But you have to be willing to explore a little and grow and take a risk and go down this road. Maybe there's not a campsite down there and you've wasted your time. It's possible. Um, but if you'll do that, then you'll know a camp that no one else knows about. And you may have to keep it to yourself, or then everyone will tell everyone. So if you all go to the same spots, yes, they're going to be very crowded. And most of them are very crowded. But you don't have to. You can find places that aren't crowded. Can you find escape from the heat? Sure, yeah, just go up in elevation. For every 1,000 feet you go up, temperature drops 3.5 degrees. Why did I go to Colorado a few months ago? Because I went up to 10,000 feet, and by going up 10,000 feet, it dropped 35 degrees. Okay, well, you've dropped 35 degrees. That's thumbs up. That's why I went there. And you can do that too. Go to Colorado, and you can get up at 8, 9, 10,000 feet really easily and find lots of camping. So yeah, you can escape from the heat, and then as summer ends and it gets cold, you'll drop to get warm. You'll go up to get cool in the spring and summer, and then in the fall, when it gets cold, you'll drop to get warm and drop and drop and drop, and you'll be in the desert finally. Cindy, campgrounds, state parks, etc., closed in New Mexico. Yeah, they're not allowing anyone from out of state. Mask required. Yes. Yeah, paid campgrounds. There's no guarantees in them, but there's plenty of dispersed camping. That's my message to you today. As of right now, there is unlimited dispersed camping. I would not count on paid campgrounds. They can be taken away from us, and New Mexico has taken them away from us. And so, yeah, don't count on paid. You don't have to pay. Save money. Put that money in your pocket. That's a nice thing. Thank you, Cindy. Jan Cross. So it is a good time to be a nomad. Best time. Reports are coming out about abuse of public lands and overcrowding, all leading to crackdowns on those using public lands. True. Yes, we've covered that in great length. Yes, we all go to the same place. Well, there's 1 million acres around us, completely empty. We all go here and we lose here. It's entirely our fault. That doesn't change the fact that there's 1 million acres all around it that are completely empty. All you have to do is drive down a road that you've never been down before and find it. It's all there. It's begging you to come and explore it. That's all you got to do. Take a little tiny risk of going down a perfectly fine road that you don't know what's down there. And if you're willing to do that, no issues finding campsites. I wish I could communicate that to folks. It's all the fear mongering. Oh, there's no more camping. They're closing it all. Oh, it's all so horrible. No, it's not true. It's just not true. It's a great time to be a nomad. The very best time. Closer to zero. Hey, at Cheap RV Living, been a fan for a while, and I'm finally building my van and hoping to be on the road soon. With all going on and my life on the road starting soon, I'm scared and worried about the winter. Go to the desert or go to Florida. Florida's not an easy one to camp in. I would say if at all possible, get down to Quartzsite, Arizona. You'll meet people, you'll learn from other people, and your life will be a lot better. So that's the thing to do in the winter. Get to Quartzsite if you can. Get down to Parker, to Yuma, any place in Arizona, or Southern California. Gas is a lot more expensive. But there's a lot of great camping in Southern California. Warm. Okay, you might have noticed I am at my mom's, and so this will be my last. There will not be a live next Wednesday, the 9th. There will not be a live on Wednesday the 9th. I'm driving. I have to be somewhere, and I have to drive on the 9th, and I don't want to have to do a live from on the road. So there will not be a live on Wednesday the 9th. This will be my last live feed from Oregon, and I'm at my mom's. I noticed that. I'm at my mom's. I asked my mom if she would like to say hi to everyone, and she said she would. So let's go meet my mom. We'll go meet my mom and my sister and say hi. They've been generous hosts for me all summer. I split my week about half. 3.5 days here and 3.5 days out camping. And so we're going to listen to the television. My mom doesn't hear so well, so the TV's always on loud. Let me turn this around. Oh, TV's off. Good. So, you didn't, oh, that was the wrong thing. Turn the wrong thing. Turn that. There we go. So, we're at my mom's. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
And my sister. Hi, Sister Brenda.
Hello.
So this is my mom. My mom's name is Jeannie. I guess I should tell people your name too.
Yes, it is Jean.
Jean. And Mom, so you got a big Band-Aid on your forehead. You got an owie taken off.
Well, it's from that time you hit me.
No, don't talk about that. You're not supposed to talk about that, Mom.
Okay, he didn't hit me.
I didn't.
I have a sore on my forehead.
Yep.
And it's taken a little while to heal.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Mom?
Oh, other than the sore on my forehead, I'm perfect.
Okay, good.
I am perfect because I'm with my daughter in her home, and my son is here too. So what more could a mother want?
Absolutely. So true. Yeah. And so it's been a good summer all the way around.
It has.
Hot, yes.
Well, you've been here quite a bit, so we've got to see a lot of you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's worth a lot.
It is. It's
To
worth
be
everything.
With your kids, all of those people out there that have children will tell you that sometimes their kids don't even care if they see them, and I care. I want to see you as much as I can.
Right. And me too, which is why I spend my summer here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done real well.
Yes.
We haven't done much, but we've had fun doing nothing.
Yes. Absolutely. And Brenda, you are retired and living here in Oregon?
Medford, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to live, especially during this time and this economy.
Yes.
Lots of things to do, good people, good place to be.
Yes.
And it's even better because Mom's here.
Absolutely. Okay. Anything else? I think that pretty well covers it.
I think so. Well, we love you.
And I love you very, very much.
That's always important.
Yes. Family. Kind of family is everything,
Yep.
ultimately.
Everyone stay safe out there.
Yep. Of course, Cody is right here. Okay, I'll go back to my room. Alrighty. Just thought folks would like to meet my mom. Let's see how do I turn this thing around again now. Right there. Yep. So there I met my mom's, and that's I'm taking a break from my luxury yacht that I keep off of Los Angeles, where I have a mansion. If you haven't heard those rumors. Okay.
You're on the fifth question, so at 50 on card 2.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zoe at 50. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll continue with questions then. How do you get Amazon shipments when you're on the road and don't have an address? The easiest way is to plan ahead. So you're traveling and look ahead where you will be soon or where you are for now. And one thing to do is use the UPS store. The UPS store will usually, not always, but usually receive packages for you. It's usually $5, although some of them are raising their prices enormously, and I've heard of people getting really kind of ripped off. So what I always do if I'm going to use a UPS store is I call ahead, say my name is, I'm RVer, I'm going to be in your town on next Tuesday, next week, whatever. And can I have a package delivered there from Amazon? And they'll say yes. And I'll ask them how much it'll cost. I'll usually say it's $5. I'm okay with that. And so when I get there to that town, my package is waiting for me. That's the easiest way to do it. So what I always try and do is find a mom and pop. So a lot of small towns will have mail receiving places. Leadville, Colorado, which is population like 3,000, has one, and I've used it. I love Leadville. I go there often. I've used it. A lot of small towns, smaller than you would think, should have one, will have them. Quartzsite has one. Of course, it's an RVing town, but Parker has one. Every place. I don't usually have a problem. The moms and pops are usually cheaper, even if they're not cheaper, I like to support mom and pop businesses. And so I will look for a mom and pop business along the road. Um, if you're getting mail, see, the problem with Amazon is you never know how they're going to send it. And it's really hard to tell them and make them do it. So with Amazon, I would go with uh, a UPS store or a mom and pop UPS store type store. But you can't do general delivery. And general delivery is you go to in small towns, you just go to the post office. All small towns generally have a post office. You go to the post office, you say, I have a package coming. Can I get something general delivery? They'll say yes. You tell them your name, and they'll give you the actual address because it has to go to that address, and it'll have to be addressed to the post office care of, and then the actual address of that building, and you have to know that. And so, and also in larger towns where there are multiple post office branches, usually only one will have a do general delivery. And so if you send it to the wrong one, you won't get it. So you can do a general delivery as well. Yeah, I haven't been a problem for me. Uh, Sometimes you have to keep looking until you find a town with a UPS store or a mom and pop, but either one of those will get the job done. Oddly enough, a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of receiving mail. The Safeway in Parker, Arizona, will receive mail for people. And if you think about it, it makes sense. They know there are RVers there. It's a snowbird place. They know they're coming there. So if they get mail for them, they're going to be in their Safeway. And if they're in Safeway, maybe I'll do some shopping. I mean, it just makes sense. So oddly enough, and that's free. They'll just receive it for you. You go in and say you have a package for me, and they'll hand it to you. No money. And so look around. And sometimes an oddball place. Wickenburg, Arizona. I don't know if they still do. This was years ago. There was a sewing machine store that would receive packages. And the word got out in the RVing community, and we all just seemed to know somehow. The word got around. So I got all my packages in Wickenburg at a sewing machine store of all weird things. So it's weird how you'll find them. If you go into a new town and you kind of ask around, go into a grocery store. Hey, do you know anyone who will receive mail for me? Or go into the stores you're going into and ask around. So it's funny that way. Uh, let's see. Yeah. Redondo. Does Ehrenberg still have enforcement in COVID times? No. In fact, it turned out, to the best of my knowledge, there was the one enforcement push and it never happened again. I'm not aware of any enforcement since then. That was a very odd thing. I think somebody got a bug up their butt and they went over and they went around and pushed people around and have never been back. So at this point, I don't believe there will be any issue with Ehrenberg at all. Now, I don't, it's just gotten, everyone knows me, and so I've stopped camping at Ehrenberg. I have not camped there since then. And just for my own, I've got to set boundaries. And people write me all the time and they want to come meet me and camp with me. And I just can't meet 1,000 people like at a time a year. So I pretty well have set boundaries and tried to, for my own health, mental health, physical, emotional health, I've had to set boundaries. So I'm not camping with others. I haven't been there, but as far as I know, it's wide open. There's no more. There was never enforcement. One big push scared everybody, and that was it. Ehrenberg, as far as I know, is a great place to go camp. Windy. That's a lot of the problems with the desert Southwest is the wind. It's ugly. It's one of the uglier desert chunks of land around, but oh well. Another worldly device, AWD. Is this a good time to be a nomad? If you have savings and can weather breakdowns, unexpected expense, that type of thing, and know where to boondog from place to place. Yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to have an emergency fund. I say this over and over again. I cannot say it enough. It's so critically important that you have an emergency fund. You have money in the bank. One disaster and you'll go under. Now again, and people like him can't relate to this. If your choice is live in a cardboard box under a bridge or live in your van broke, still, you're better off living in your van broke than living in the cardboard box. What's the worst thing that can happen? You end up living in a cardboard box if your van breaks down. But so again, my word to everyone is save, get money in the bank, get money in the bank, get money in the bank. And if you can't save where you are, if you can find a job, move into your car or your van and keep working and save. Whatever you were paying for rent before, pay yourself. Put every penny in the bank. If you know an eviction is coming up, but you've got a month or two, start selling. Stop buying anything. Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything because I tell you to buy something. Only buy it once you know it's essential to live on. Money in an emergency fund is your highest priority. And so don't buy anything unless it's required to keep you alive today. Really, honestly. And I would like you to think that way. Sell everything unless it's required to keep you alive today. And if it's not, well, you're not going to sell your spare tire, are you, in your car? You got to have a spare tire. There's certain things you've got to have. So keep those, even if they're not required to keep you alive today. Use good sense. But I mean, if you got a sleeping bag and it's summer, keep the sleeping bag because winter's coming. But anything that isn't going to be required to keep you alive in the next year, get rid of it. Anything that's not just an essential for a common problem, a flat tire, get rid of it, sell it, give it away, get it out of your life. And then work, get a job, get 2 jobs, get 3 jobs. Live in your car, save every penny, build up your emergency fund. If you got in your car and an emergency came up and you've depleted your emergency fund, stop, get a job, rebuild your emergency fund. Emergency fund is your highest priority. And so do that. Marshall Beatty, hi, do you know if it's too late to sign up for the sugar beet harvest this year? No, I would definitely try. What almost always happens is people sign up and then don't show. So definitely sign up for the sugar beet harvest. I've got videos on it, and I don't know off the top of my head the address how to send it to you, but no, sign up for the sugar beet harvest. They're planning on the sugar beet harvest. They are hiring right now, or they have done all their hiring. That's possible. But yes, and get in on a list even if you call them and they say they're full. Get on a list and keep calling back. Yeah, that's a good job and a good potential for building up some cash. Oddly enough, I wasn't aware of it, but now Amazon has warehouses on the West Coast, one in Phoenix even, that does use Camper Force. And I just looked at their website. And so do a Google search on Camper Force, Amazon Camper Force, and go there and keep up to date because it's the same thing. And this always happens. People won't show up. They'll get their jobs. They'll be all ready to go. And then all of a sudden they won't show up. Usually Amazon will keep a list below that. But you never know when it might be so bad that all of a sudden they just have to start rehiring from fresh. So be ready. Even now, I would have it in my mind. It's unlikely that I'm going to get on an Amazon or to Beet Harvest, but I'm going to be ready. I'm going to do everything I can. And those are 2 jobs that we know are coming up. Amazon's doing better than ever. And so, yeah, they're probably doing more hiring than ever. So, yes, please, both of those places. And also next year, it's too late now. Next year, the campgrounds are going to do well. Actually, in bad economic times, campgrounds do better. People don't have money to travel. They're afraid to get on an airplane. So they're going to stay local. The campgrounds will be busier than ever. And I personally experienced that in 2008 and 9 when I was a campground host. We were busier than ever. Okay, Marshall Beatty. How do you know if it's too late? I'm sorry, we got that. Jeffrey C. I've been looking for a van as I've come into a little money. Good thinking. Get a van. You'll never be homeless. You buy a minivan, you'll get decent gas mileage. They're great cars. You'll never be homeless. Think about that. But I'm having trouble finding one. And yeah, I understand. Not sure where to look anymore. Any ideas? I think we just use Craigslist And who all do we use? KC, are you on?
Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
Those are the two big ones we use, and we've found them. We are paying more. Facebook and Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and that's where we're finding ours. And we are looking harder and looking at more, and we lose more because the demand's high. It comes up and instantly it's gone. You've got to really work at it. It's got to be a job. This is my job, to instantly call every listing as it comes up, and you're gonna have to pay more. It's a seller's market right now, but it's worth it. And one of the things to do, although it's harder to go look right away, is to expand your area that you're willing to go to. So when I bought my van I have now, I was in Quartzsite, and Quartzsite's really a central location. So I set Craigslist to search Phoenix, 150 miles away, Las Vegas, which was I don't know, a couple hundred miles away, and LA, which was a couple hundred miles away. But between the three of them, man, there were a lot of people and a lot of vans. And I found just the right one at a pretty good price, I think. So expand, if you need to, expand your search, although it's going to be harder for you to be quick. Grumpy old man. Bob, is the nomadic lifestyle a young person's game? Is it harder to do this being older, like over 65? No, I don't think so. I'm 65. Of course, I started when I was a long time ago. And no, there are more older people doing this than younger people. There are so many more older people who are kind of in emergency times. So many of us older people are retired and all we have is Social Security, and it's not enough to live on. So no, this is not a young person's game. It is easier for a young person. I mean, they're physically stronger and healthier. It's easier to get in and out of the van, but yes, but no question, don't let age keep you from this. There can be physical disabilities that will make it really hard. Getting in and out of the van can become, it's for a lot of us as we get older, that will become an issue. Health, how do you have to stay near a doctor? That can become an issue. It hasn't been a problem for me. I'm 65, and I've known people well into their 70s who have had no problem doing this and continue to do this. So it's all an individual thing at that point. Your health, your abilities, your limitations, they're all different for all of us. No, I think it is definitely not a young person's game. Anyone can do it. Brian Rise, are Midwest states wide open like Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana? I'm not sure I understand the question. Wide open to camping? No. It's by far the best camping is west of the Rockies, the mountain states, the Pacific states, by far. The BLM land, the National Forest land, it's everywhere. It's wide open. Camping's easy. Throw a rock, there's a campsite. That is not true anywhere east of the Rocky Mountains. You leave the Rocky Mountains, go east on the plains, and then all the way to the Atlantic. No, it gets harder and harder, and the further you go, the harder it is. Then that's a place where you'll use freecampsites.net a lot, particularly in the Midwest, the plain states. A lot of small towns are dying, and so they have camping available. They want people to stop, get off the freeway, and spend a night or two in their town. That they desperately want that. And so a lot of small towns in the Midwest, the plain states in particular, are offering free camping in their parks. And so that's where free campsites will tell you where all those places are, and they're really hard to find otherwise. So really look into that. Free campsites on the plain states. But no, once you get back into the mountain states on the East Coast, no. It's there. It's just much more limited. Coyote Howls East in Arizona website says closed till further notice as of yesterday. Yeah, I took down that video. There was a place called Coyote Howls, which for a while had fantastic camping, and I wanted everyone to know about it, and then they exploded. It's a company town. The camps, those campgrounds are actually owned by the water company, and the water company. So it's a company town, and I think they were just big bothers for everyone. And so, yeah, it was always a problem. I have a video up now about, what's the name of that place? Crazy Horse.
Caballo
Caballo
Loco?
Loco. Caballo Loco. And if you go to my YouTube channel, Caballo Loco, it's outside of Tucson, and it's nearly as cheap and as good. And he had a bunch of land that was unused. He wasn't at capacity. Great guy. Great guy. Really, he was operating that place at a loss because he cared about the people, wasn't going to kick him out. And so that was one of the reasons I felt really good about promoting him. I got nothing. I got zero, zilch, nothing. No way been advantaged economically because of this, but of promoting him. You need to know about it, and he's a great guy doing a great thing, and he needed the help. So what kind of a human being would I be if I didn't tell you about it? And he had extra land. He said that as more people came in, he had all the heavy equipment there. He'd open the land and just create new sites. And he'll probably get full because there's so many of us. But Coyote Howls, and I think that's the name of the video. If you go to my YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/cheaprvliving. Go to so you're at my channel, and then on the channel, search on what is it? Caballo Loco. Caballo Loco. Crazy Horse. That's Crazy Horse in Spanish. I think this will be our last question. Mimi Devlin. Oh, one more question, but I'll turn on the bubbles for bubble lovers. Mimi Devlin, all you bubble lovers out there. Are public showers open? The truck stops are still, I know. And I haven't been back to Quartzsite or Ehrenberg to know if their showers are open. I would think so. I mean, after every shower, they go in and clean them. I don't know that they'll go in there and clean them any differently. I mean, they always should have kept them good and clean. I know the truck stops are fantastic. They go in there with bleach and disinfect the whole thing. So I can't imagine the truck stops would ever close because of that. Maybe the government will force them. I don't know. So probably some are closed. Like has been mentioned, a lot of the gyms have closed because it's the rules. And so, again, think like a pioneer. Think like a pioneer. How did the pioneers stay clean when they went across America on the Conestoga wagons? You're the same human being that they are. They were no better than you are. You can do this. And just see your life as a big adventure, a big quest to learn to return to the purity of human living without all the consumerism and the civilization, being a free living human being who faces some discomfort and some risk in life. You can do that. We all need to do that. Life can go on without public showers, I promise you. Although one every so often is a very good thing. I can attest to that. Okay. So I'm done. The bubbles are going. The bubbles lovers are happy. I'll do my happy dance. This is my happy dance, I guess. I need a happy dance. That's my happy dance. And I will not be here next Wednesday. It will be the first Wednesday we've missed, I think, in a long, long time. I'm going to be driving, and it's just not going to be convenient. You guys stay happy and healthy and safe, and I'll see you sometime. Bye now.